Hello and welcome to Lunchtime Lockdown. This is your daily dose of cooking from Steve and Hugo. He's Hugo.
He's Steve.
Right, what are we making today, Hugo? You remember? I'll give you a clue, it's got lemons in.
Lemon cake?
Lemon drizzle cake. Now, dead easy recipe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Basically, everything goes in the mixer in one go and gets a really good mix. So, we've got 200 grams of soft butter. Only we don't use butter, do we?
No, because I'm dairy free.
Because you're dairy free. So instead we're using baker's block. Baker's block is essentially solidified oil, but it's good for dairy free. We've got 250 grams of self-raising flour with a little bit of baking powder in there, 250 grams of sugar, 3 eggs, 100 mils of milk, again, but we're using soya milk instead of normal milk.
Or coconut milk.
Or coconut milk. You could use any dairy alternative, but basically we need to keep it dairy free for Hugo. We've also got the zest of 3 lemons. And then we're going to mix all this together, and then whilst it's mixing, Hugo is going to juice some lemon juice for us. We're going to use this to make a syrup to go over the top of the cake. Now, before we start, I believe you've got a joke for us today, Hugo, haven't you?
Yeah.
So go on, what's your joke?
How do you put Pikachu on a bus?
Don't know, how do you get him on a bus?
Pokemon.
Oh, I've not heard that one before, that is brilliant. Right, so we're ready to get going. So the first thing to go in the mixer, Hugo, if you don't mind, put the butter in. There's a little scraper there for you to scrape it in with. Yeah, go and scrape it in. So the butter goes straight into the mixer. Go on. Shall I help you a little bit there? Or can you manage? Hold on. Right. So the butter needs to be nice and soft. The softer the better, but you don't want it melted. Okay? And all your other ingredients need to be at room temperature, because if they're not, then the butter will start to solidify again. So, what does solidify mean? And that's a very good question. So at the moment the butter is really soft. And if we were to put cold eggs in there, it'd make the butter cold again. And what does butter go when it's cold? It goes hard, doesn't it? So that's a really good question.
Like stone.
Yeah, so we don't want hard bits of butter in our cake, do we? Because otherwise we'll end up with lumps of butter and it won't be a smooth batter mix.
And we will break our teeth.
Well, you would do, but I think it would probably melt by the time we baked it. Right, next we're going to add our sugar in. Good job. Then our flour and our baking powder. Now I've already sieved this. It does help to make your cake a lot lighter if you sieve it. Okay, milk. Awesome. And then our lemon zest. Oh, make sure it goes in, Hugo. Oh. And then finally, 3 eggs. Now, Hugo is an expert egg cracker, aren't you, Hugo? So go on, crack your eggs in there, one at a time. Boom! Blow an egg. It's a good job we've got a tea towel to clean up the mess, isn't it? Awesome. And the last one. Good job. Any bits of eggshell in there? Not one. Amazing job, Hugo. Yeah, wipe your hands.
Didn't hurt, my fingers are tiny.
Oh, goodness me, you're going to survive.
Yeah.
Good. Right.
I only got a tiny scratch on my tiny toe.
Oh no. Right, so we're going to lower that down and we're going to give it a quick mix. Now, it'll take a couple of minutes mixing. So whilst it's mixing, Hugo's going to juice the lemons into our pan. Now, I've already got 100 grams of sugar in the pan, and this juice is going to go to make a syrup to go over the top of our cake once it's baked. So he's going to use a spoon in there to get it all nice and mixed.
Mixy.
Good job, Hugo. Are they nice juicy lemons?
Yeah. They're actually very
And the reason he's using a sieve is to stop The seeds going in. Because nobody wants to eat a seed in a lemon drizzle cake, do they? No. Now, I'm only giving this cake a very, very quick mix. And the reason for that is you don't want to start working the gluten that's in the flour. Because if you work gluten in the flour, it becomes chewy. And again, you don't want a chewy lemon cake. You just want a nice crumbly texture to your cake mix. So essentially, all you need to do is make sure all that butter, the sugar and the flour are all incorporated. Now, given this a quick mix, I'm just going to scrape down the side of the bowl and give it another quick mix to make sure it's completely incorporated. How are you getting on with those lemons, Hugo?
I've only did 1 lemon.
Oh, goodness me. Well, that's all right. Don't worry about it. You keep going with that. I'll keep mixing the cake. Oh, wrong button. Never mind.
I'll just show you.
No, wait there. It's all right. Come on, keep going with that cake, Hugo. Goodness me, what happened there? Well, these things happen, don't they? Hugo!
What?
Hugo, come back! Right, so our cake is pretty much mixed and we've got our liner now. So we're going to line the tray with a bit of parchment.
What did you do?
Don't worry about it, we'll clean it up in a bit. It's all a bit of mess and a bit of fun, isn't it? Right, so we've got our parchment, which is a little bit bigger than our tin, and I've cut the edges down and then cut across the corner.
And I'm still doing that.
So that goes in our tin, and then I'm going to take our cake mix, and be careful not to turn the wrong switch this time.
And spray it in my face.
And spray it in your face. Now, we'll leave that there. Now, our cake mix goes straight into our cake tin. And thankfully, we've still got enough left, even though some did end up in Hugo's hair.
And on the table.
And on the table.
My dad's responsible to clean it.
I am. Well, don't worry, I always clean up my mess, don't I, Hugo?
Not in my room.
Now, that's in our cake tin. We're just tapping on the table, getting the air bubbles out of it. How are we doing with our lemon juice, Hugo? We nearly done?
Yep, there's a big flow of water.
Right, so that cake is now going to go in the oven for approximately 50 minutes. It's going to go on at 170 degrees. And we are going to test it with a skewer to make sure it's cooked when it comes out. So I'm going to go and tidy this mess up. Hugo's going to do PE with Joe, aren't you?
Yeah.
And we'll check on the cake in 50 minutes. Catch you shortly.
Bye-bye.
Our cake has now been in the oven for approximately 45 minutes. I'm just going to check it with a skewer to see if it's coming out clean. If it comes out clean, then we know it's ready. So it's looking pretty good anyway. And yeah, that cake looks like it's done, so that's going to come out now. And we're going to move on to the next stage of the cook. So, our cake is out, isn't it, Hugo?
Yeah.
And what do you think? Does it look pretty good?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we need to do now, we've made a syrup and that needs to go over the cake. So in order to get it over and into the cake and make this literally the moistest cake you've ever tasted, we need to make some holes in the cake first, believe it or not. So, Hugo's going to make about 20 holes in the cake with his skewer. Go on. So about 20. Go on, a bit deeper than that, all the way down. And that way we get all the moisture in to the cake. All over, Hugo, all over the cake. Believe it or not, all that syrup we made before, that will all go into this cake. and it will all get soaked in, and it will make it literally the moistest cake you've ever eaten.
Dad, stop.
Okay?
I accidentally did extra.
Oh, goodness me, Hugo's put 21 holes in the cake. Do you think it'll be okay?
Yeah, but my dad did put where a hole was.
Really?
Yeah,
So now,
it's basically
our
20.
syrup, which you just... Can you go and stop Alexa? Our time is going on over there. So, our syrup is literally the lemon juice and 100 grams of sugar. So we're just going to gently spoon this over, and as we're spooning it, it's soaking into our cake, and this is why we leave it in the tin to cool, so that this sugar syrup can crystallise on the top and give us what we call our drizzle. And there we go, one more spoon left. Now we're going to leave this to cool in the tin. That'll take about half an hour. Then we can take it out and have some with a nice cup of tea. What do you think, Hugo?
Yeah, but we might have some for lunch.
We might have some
and
for lunch.
Some dinner.
And for some dinner, yeah. How was PE with Joe? Did you have a good workout?
Boring.
It was boring. It's not as good as our show, is it?
No, our show's the best.
So, our cake has been out the oven for about half an hour now. We're going to take it out, have a slice, and we're all ready to go. So, because we put our parchment in before, it's nice and easy to lift out. We'll just move this out the way, and we'll see what this little bad boy looks like. Should we cut the slice off?
Yeah, of course.
Who's having the first slice, Hugo? You?
You.
So we've got a lovely crumbly texture, all full of juicy lemon there. Do you want to have a taste?
No, you do first.
Okay. Awesome. You try some? What's the opinion? Good? Thumbs up?
Fantastic.
Double thumb. Well, it doesn't come better than that, does it? Well, I hope you've enjoyed Lunchtime Lockdown with Steve and Hugo. He's been Hugo.
He's been Steve.
Have a great day. Stay safe, everyone. Bye-bye.
From COVID-19.